Hi, so this week the reading is really focused on tempo, rhythms, pacing, and working alongside actors with part three this week. I found that in terms of rehearsal process and creating a positive rehearsal space, that inviting my crew and my tech into my rehearsals from day one and allowing them to work alongside the actors to help build a cohesive team helps them learn to build that trust and rely on one another from the very, very beginning, rather than bringing them in piecemeal at different times. It also helps to establish a trust and bond between the kids if, while we're in the blocking process, if I tell a student on stage that a crew member is going to hand you this, I can give them a crew member's name, and the two of them can make that a connection right there and then at that point where they both know that, hey, I'm going to rely on you and you can trust me in this as well. Students learn quickly to go also through the stage manager with questions and even on communicating with me if they can't reach me during the school day, such as if they leave school with an illness or something at the last minute that pops up that is more of a text message, and Remind doesn't always send me a message right away. So it also helps them to see the student leader as an individual who is someone that they can also reach out to and gain that rapport and that trust with as well. I try to also encourage them to build time outside of the rehearsal space to get to know one another, to get to trust one another, such as going to each other's other events, such as different sporting events like wrestling or cheerleading, soccer, baseball, to go and to support one another. It really helps them, underclassmen and upperclassmen, to really get closer to one another, to see each other supporting one another, and that translates back into the rehearsal space for us as well. And you can just really see these bonds and these connections really, really grow. And then for the rehearsal techniques, one of the things that I have done that students enjoy that have really helped them to be able to pull different characterizations or personalities is to try to pull from people that they know or they're familiar with in the school building. For example, when we staged our version of Clue, I told our student playing Wadsworth, who was struggling a bit with the characterization, to pretend he was one of our guidance counselors who is also from the UK, who has that same demeanor that fits Wadsworth. And it was like it just clicked and he got it. He was like, okay, I understand it. And they enjoy pretending to be teachers and then taking those parts and working in and then realizing what they could be doing and what they should be doing, helping them to transform their acting to better fit their characters. The dinosaur arms are the biggest pet peeve for me, which all my high schoolers are guilty of doing at least once. I call the dinosaur arms when they tuck their arms into their body and keep their elbows close to their torso, so when they move their hands or try to move their arms, it's a bit of a T-Rex situation that is created, and it's become a bit of a running joke that as much as I love dinosaur movies, I don't want dinosaurs on stage. So if they see the dinosaur arms, they just call out no dinosaurs, and I ask them to just free your limbs, allow your limbs to move freely, please. Sometimes also asking them to be over the top with their movements also helps, because then they're able to realize just how stiff they have been and how dynamic they can be with all their movements. It also helps as well to have other members of your collaborative team make these same notes and corrections so that actors can see the entire directorial team as being on the same page with these techniques and corrections. It doesn't seem like corrections are only coming from one person all of the time, which is also very, very, very helpful. I will say, in terms of, I enjoyed the readings and the one part that spoke about, some of the failures and your successes. There's always going to be shows where things just don't go right. The example that I provided in one of my responses this week was our first run of Anastasia for fifth graders, in which everything that could go wrong, it all went wrong from beginning to end. And rather than that be something that really got everyone down, because we had already built that community, we built that trust, we built that friendship, rather than that seemingly crushed everybody going into the rest of the performances, instead they took it and they saw it as a silver lining. Like, okay, this is the one that went wrong, all the rest from here are going to go great. We know how to fix it now, and we know how to grow. And creating a community like that is one that's going to be rewarding for both you and for your actors. Thank you.